Hey, what's up, guys? It's Devin Harrington, the average Gen Xer, and welcome back to my channel, where today I wanted to talk about how there is a growing mainstream movement, is probably not the right word, cultural shift. I'm not sure, but so many women these days, hetero women, are just flat out refusing to date men anymore. They don't want to date anyone anymore. And so they are just, and never before in human history has there been, I guess, a revolution like this, where so many women of all ages and backgrounds are just flat out bowing out gracefully from the dating scene. There are women who have been divorced or widowed, and they are choosing to remain single. It's not necessarily about a certain sector of women, older women, younger women. It's, like I said, all ages and backgrounds. And it really just tickles me that it's become a mainstream line of thinking. Now, I feel like I always have to give a disclaimer. Like, I am not bashing men, okay? I love men. and, but I have had many of the experiences that we see women talking about on Reddit and in other forums. These women who have just decided that they treat themselves way better than any man does that they've met, and they don't want to settle, and that's fine. So instead of reading Reddit posts, this is a little odd, but I wanted to look at some memes, if you don't mind, because this has become so mainstream that, how many times can I say that word? That there are memes about it. You know you have arrived when there are memes about you. But anyway, let's check these out. But first, as I do on every video on this channel, I want to take a second to encourage all animal lovers out there. Please consider volunteering on site or fostering for your local animal shelter or rescue. This is Ella Fitzgerald. She is a skipper key. And she, I know I say it every time I show her, but if anyone doesn't know, she was seized in a hoarding case. She was one of over 50 dogs, and she was used to be bred. But she's spayed now, huh? And may have spent most of her life in a crate. So she's, recovering from her trauma. She's been here for a couple months now, and I think she's going to get adopted in July, I've decided. So anyway, if you love animals, please consider going to the website. See how easy it is to sign up, to volunteer or foster for your local animal shelter or rescue, and you can do your little bitty part to help save the world. Do it for the animals. Thanks. Okay, I got most of these memes from the fantastic Single Women by Choice subreddit. If you're interested, do check it out. First one says, a wise woman once packed all her stuff and said, this fucked up shit will not be my story. And then she left and lived happily ever after. And I love this one because this is a storytelling channel, so I do talk about my own life. If you're looking for something other than that, that's fine. My last relationship, I broke up with him. He was the guy. I really felt like I could deal with him. We were going to move. We were going to buy a house. We were, 2 weeks away from closing. I'm in Texas. He's in upstate New York at the time. And it was a done deal. I was going to pack up my car with my 2 dogs in it. My movers were booked. My horse mover was booked to transport my horse up to upstate New York. I mean, I was all in with this guy, is what I'm saying. And like all the men I've been with, there's always a fatal flaw that I just can't live with. And this guy had a very rough childhood, early childhood, which faux show put him on the narcissist spectrum. This guy was like the basic bitch of narcissists. I would just read up about it, and he would do the exact things. But the point is, we had a great time. I was with him for 4 years, mostly because we were long distance for half that time. And then the second, at the 11th hour, he was losing control of the situation. I don't know if you've ever dated a narcissist, you know how they are. Um, and he decided he was going to cuss me out on the phone and tell me I was not there for him and he doesn't trust me. And these are all manipulative tactics that narcissists use. And I hung up on him and just let him text, rant, rant. And I was so anxious because I'm about to change my entire life, leave all, I've been in Austin since 99. I have a whole life here, friends, work colleagues, artistic colleagues, and I was going to leave it all to go live in the woods of upstate New York. And then it all came crashing down, and it was like I was given a choice. Am I going to save face and move up there and be with him so that what will people think if I don't do what I say I'm going to do? And how I can't, it was thousands of dollars in deposits and stuff that I lost. So I chose me, and I just canceled everything. And he has never heard my voice again. And he has tried every possible way to contact me because a narcissist will never let you have the last word. And they will never let you be the one that walks away. Well, I did. And for sure, I am living happily ever after. So no relationship is worth your self-esteem, your safety, your lifestyle, your ability to be you. No man is worth it. Next meme, I have dark mode on, so the picture is backwards, but it says, being in a relationship is about solving problems together. Problems you wouldn't have if you were single. And I feel that so hard because I used to think of that, like I'm 55. So I have arrived at the age where I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care what you want to eat for dinner. I don't care how you feel about me going out to coffee with my male platonic friend. I don't give a shit. I don't care about your feelings. I have coddled men's feelings my entire life because that is still how women are brought up. And it's so not worth it. And thank God there's so many of us just waking up. What is going to happen? Like, people always come on here and say, oh, well, just be alone and die alone, and the old maid tropes and all of that crap. And that's just because they don't know how glorious it is for women who have been brought up to take care of everyone but themselves and to spare everyone's feelings. When they finally, the dust clears and they're by themselves and it's quiet and you can hear yourself think and you can focus on yourself. And there is not a damn thing wrong with that. I will certainly be one of the women standing on that hill when I die, because there is nothing better for a woman than to be self-sufficient, self-supporting financially, to not need shit from anyone. And we are so fortunate, at least at this point in history, that we are the women who are able to live by ourselves and do whatever we want. And I mean, there are still millions of women enslaved, if you will, around the world in countries that don't allow women to even show their face in public, let alone have a job. Anyway, moving on. Next one. This is good. It's a picture of a guy on one knee giving a ring, and it says, "Would you do me the honor of taking on even more responsibilities while my life remains largely unchanged?" And yeah, that is definitely true. There's been study after study after study done. I've read so many articles on here on this channel where marriage is for men. And it's better these days. It's better for men than it is for women. But if you think of it, marriage as a concept is a thing to link families together, alliances. You don't need a piece of paper to be with your person. You don't. But the patriarchy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't want women to be independent. They don't want you to make your own choices. They want you to get pregnant and just pop out kids, and then you're fucked because you don't have an education. They want as low education as possible. I'm saying they. That could be the extreme religious right in the U.S., the patriarchy, like I said, whatever you want to call it. But it's just a fact that so many women get married, and even just being married, they feel like they have to do all the compromising, and they are just expected to do more of the housework. Now, disclaimer again, I'm not saying every man is like this. All we're saying here is that now that we have social media and people can post anonymously, women are coming out of the woodwork to say, fuck this. So, next one. The feminine urge to not talk to guys, to not go on dates, to choose books over bare minimum love, because no man could ever match the intensity I pour into people who always leave half full. And yeah, many, many women. I mean, I would, as a broad generalization, say it's female nature to nurture, to want to care for the people around us, for our loved ones. And for freaking centuries, eons, women had to settle and just take whatever they got. I mean, think of all the women who didn't even meet their husband until the wedding day. And then you're trapped. It's just the whole concept is not geared toward females. This is perfect. Believe in yourself as much as you believed in your ex's potential, and you'll be fine. Yes. Young women out there who date men, please determine whether you are dating their potential or whether you're dating them as they actually are. Because I know for me, I would start that, the wheels would start turning of like, I can change him, I can fix him. I think that's just human nature in a way, or maybe it's, I don't know, female nature, but men will marry women who don't want children and just assume that the guy can talk the girl into it and change her mind. But yeah, potential is not something you can date. You will always be disappointed. And I say that as someone whose first love was the most epic fucking case of anyone dating someone's potential. And then, with decades removed and life experience, I'm just like, God, that guy is a fucking loser. And when I was 18, I thought he hung the moon. I couldn't imagine not being with him. It's crazy. And yet there are so many young women out there that are getting married at that age when they don't even know themselves. I know I'm ranting, but this shit is bullshit. Like, we shouldn't have to deal with this at this point in history. I'm Dat Feminist posted this. Guys really be like, LMAO, so you're just going to leave me because I'm a liar who constantly hurts you, wastes your time, and will probably never improve in any way? You're selfish as fuck. You don't give a shit about me or anyone, you damn bitch. Yep. I'll always turn it on you. I mean, that's just the stereotypical thing that happens to women when a guy works up the nerve to approach a girl and she turns him down. He gets mad and tells her, well, you're ugly anyway, or blah, 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 whatever. And somehow I've seen so many instances of this just among like people I know. My bestie was with a guy for 8 years. They were together. And she just got so sick of his shit. He's very nihilistic, and she would put on cute lingerie and prance around, and he would be like, it's nothing I haven't seen before. And she'd smack his ass and he'd say, don't objectify me, And after 8 years of that, she just up and left. And he, I would say he made her, but she's just a very giving person. So she agreed to attend breakup therapy with him. This is a guy that was like in therapy his whole life. He's been to therapy for everything. And so they went to breakup therapy. And I think it lasted like 2 sessions. And he was just so flabbergasted. He actually said that he never thought she would leave. He acknowledged that he is very negative, and he acknowledged that he is not a touchy-feely person and all of those things. And he just didn't get it. Why would she want to leave? It's really astounding. Here's a good one. How I sleep at night knowing I don't have to explain basic empathy to a narcissistic rat of a man-child anymore. I've fucking done that for sure. I love this one. I think it's me. I'm the love of my life. And I feel that so hard, like I've probably been in a relationship more than I've been single, although I have gone years of being single and been fine with it. I've loved being single. But when you're younger, you're more apt to pair up because you're out there doing your thing and finding yourself and whatever. But when you get over 50, I've said this before on this channel, there's that old saying, life begins at 50. And when I was young, I was like, that's so fucking stupid. Like, you're just like near death. You got one foot on a banana peel and the other in the grave when you're 50. And you don't know until you reach 50 what that actually means. Because I swear something happens to female brains when they get to that age where you are now perimenopause, menopausal, where you have spent possibly most of your life caring for other people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you turn 50. And it's like everything that seemed so important when you were young just falls away. And, having the best looking boyfriend or the best hung boyfriend or whatever, even just the concept of having someone there all the time kind of just seems so stupid. It's so unnecessary. And women turn 50 and all of a sudden, like, something clicks into place and they realize that life is short and you can't spend your entire life taking care of your husband and kowtowing to what he wants. And yes, I know there are plenty of ecstatically happy married couples out there. I have been a ecstatically happy coupled up person myself. I'm not saying nobody should be in a relationship. I'm just pointing out that because we're able to tell our stories on social media, people are talking about this, and it's fucking egregious. The ways that men behave towards their wives, and how so many women feel like their husband or their boyfriend is just another child that they have to care for. And that is not what nature intended, if nothing else. This one is great. There's literally no rule that says you have to get married and start a family. Normalize splitting a mansion with your 5 best friends and 10 dogs. And I absolutely intend to do that one day. Have a nice big house out in the woods somewhere with lots of animals and my good friends. I just think that sounds heavenly. A lot of people comment on posts like this, and younger women often saying like, well, how do you go without sex? Girl, sex is the easiest thing going. If you just want to have sex, you can walk to the end of your driveway and some guy will come along and want to have sex with you. It's super easy. The friend with benefits thing can be very valuable. And even better than that, there's so many fantastic items that you can find on shops like Adam and Eve, et cetera, et cetera. I'm trying to make this, get past the YouTube censors. I've never met a man that vibrates, and that's all I need. All right, shut up, Dev. Okay, finally, this is a great one. And please, any woman out there, just take this to heart. The amount of strength it takes to choose to be alone instead of poorly surrounded is extremely underrated. If you were strong enough to choose yourself, I honor you. And so do I. And I told my story of my last relationship and how I chose myself and lost thousands of dollars and, didn't get to be with the guy that I thought was the guy I could stand to be with for the rest of my life. I had to choose myself. And I'm lucky that I was already in my early 50s when that happened, because if I was in my maybe even late 20s, 30s, I might have just gone and made the best of it and figured out a way to move on from there. But it was the harder choice. So I would love to hear your stories of how you have chosen yourself in relationships. And let me know what you think about this trend, this cultural trend that's happening now, where women have just fucking had it. I look forward to reading your comments. And that's what I have for you today, guys. You know the drill. If you like this video, please like it. I would be ever so grateful if you would subscribe if you're not already. If you find my content valuable, please share it. I really, really appreciate everybody who even stops by for a little while to hear me talk shit online. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.